Welcome back to the Corvette C7 Stingray rebuild. Currently en route to my paint guy. I have the trunk lid, the rear quarter, and the spoiler that was removed yesterday. I'm gonna see if he's got the ability to fix the fiberglass damage before doing paint. If not, we'll have to do one of the two options that we discussed yesterday. My fingers are crossed, he can fix it. Once these are dropped off, I'm gonna head right back to the car with the goal of removing the airbag steering wheel and the seat belts. I got good news regarding the fiberglass parts. He thinks he can get them fixed and painted, and that's gonna be a lot more cost effective than if I had to get them either used and shipped or new from the dealer. Now it's time to get the airbag out. I believe if you just take two tools like Allen keys and push in on the holes on each side of the steering wheel, it will release a spring and the airbag should just pop right out. Really hard with one hand. I'm struggling to keep tension on both of the Allen keys at the same time. I thought I could just kind of walk one side out than the other. That's proving not to be the case. I got a longer screwdriver. I'm thinking I may be able to hold it with my knee, so I can do it with just one person. I think I got it. Now that the airbag is slid out, you can see there's a couple connectors. So if there's one here, more at the bottom. I'll show you more when I get this one off and kind of tilt the airbag back. I'm gonna pop these two up. I think these two orange tabs just slide up. I'll come right out. I'm struggling here to get these orange clips off. They're like super brittle from the heat, I think. I'm gonna try to just undo the wires from the back of the wheel. I'm thinking the whole steering wheel might have to come off now to get to the main part of the wiring harness. It's gonna take two people on a breaker bar. Or, I guess I just bust out the impact wrench or impact gun. Maybe I'll just do that, that might be quicker. We're not messing around now. I got the impact gun out. It actually worked really, really well. I ended up just cutting the wires off of these connectors. I don't know if you can tell from the camera, but they're like kind of discolored, like they've been melted. And they were just disintegrating. So I just cut the wires so that this is now free. Now I can take the steering wheel off, which now leaves me the bolts so I can take the clock spring out because I need to get a new clock spring to replace that wiring that goes to the airbag. I'm gonna undo those three bolts and then pull that fascia off. After undoing the three bolts and popping the fascia off, there's now 4 screws, I think. That's all that's left. That holds the clock spring on. I'm hoping there's not another layer behind it, but we'll find out. 4 screws are out, so I'm trying to just pull this out now. I'm gonna need 2 hands here to hold the fascia apart and pull it. After literally an hour, I spent trying to get that yellow and red Delphi connector, and this one to release from the clock spring. I finally got it. It's like these are almost one-time use connectors, but I was able to save them. So now I think if I just get a new clock spring, it should just be plug and play, put the steering wheel back on, airbag, hopefully good to go. So I'm gonna get this on the parts list. Seat belts are coming out now so they can be sent in. First things first, is gonna be to pop off this cover, and then there's a, I think 10mm bolt in there that holds this bracket together. Once that is loose, this whole piece will be free. And then I can take the motor off that's back in here, or the retractor, or whatever you want to call it, and hopefully that whole piece will just come out. I don't think actually any trim needs to be removed except for this piece up here. So that's good. That's better than I thought. Now that the seatbelts have been removed from the car and mailed in to be reset, I figured it was time to take the parts off the front end. I think I have a pretty good idea of what's needed just because you can see everything pretty easily, but I won't know for sure until everything is stripped off. So let's do that. And then I have a box to open, which I think has the headlight in it and the new wheel. So we'll do that as well. With any luck, this is the new used passenger headlights. There it is. Oh, this one even comes with the modules. Unlike the Audi, I don't even know if I have to do anything with this. This might be just straight plug and play. I don't see any cracks or anything at first glance. The wheel has arrived. Hopefully, I got the right size and it will work. I can get a tire mounted to it at Discount Tire. Good news, the specs on the new tire match up perfectly with the specs on the broken one. So all I need to do is throw a tire on this. It should be good to go in the car once the suspension's done. And also this wheel isn't perfect. Right here, there's a little bit of curb damage, but that's good because it blends in well with all the other ones that have some curb damage on them. So it doesn't look like it's gonna be too out of place. This piece still looks good, so I'll reuse that. I'm gonna have to resplice this for the side indicator for the passenger side bumper. But that shouldn't be too bad. There's a nick in this wire. See if we can get around that, or might have to redo that whole setup. And then this right here will need to be redone for the camera. Now that the wiring is unplugged from the bumper, there's about 10 7mm bolts I need to undo from the bottom. And I think that should allow me to pull away whatever's left here of the bumper. Oh, this thing has seen better days, but a lot of the hardware and clips are still there, which will be good for when I get the new ones. I can just transfer those pieces over. I'm gonna need 2 of these energy absorbers. This one's a little bit bent, and the one on this side is just completely missing. And I'll also need 4 rivets, that will be easy. So my plan now is to just drill out this rivet so I can free this one up and get this all prepped for reinstall once the parts are ordered and get here. With a little bit of hammering and bending, I was actually able to get this absorber pretty much straight again. So now when I put it here, it sits flush where the rivets need to go and the holes in the back line up. So I actually think I'm gonna reuse this one and then obviously get a new one for that side because it's missing altogether. Slowly but surely chipping away here. Next, I want to take out the air intake housings and scoops. So it's going to be this upper piece here, this front piece, and then this lower piece here. And then I think I can get 2, I don't know if you call it like a radiator carrier, but a big metal bracket that holds, looks like the AC condenser and radiator. That got bent. Try to get that down, kind of drops down like a mini subframe. And then that's pretty much it for the front end, except for the fiberglass damage over on the fender, but we'll tackle that a different day because that's bonded, not bolted, so that's gonna be difficult. But let's do this now. I've been messing around trying to get that intake shroud out and it will not budge. I've taken out a few more bolts, but still nothing. I'm sort of wondering if I need to pull the radiator forward, or I guess in this case backwards, to get it out. But before I do that, I want to drop that radiator subcarrier I mentioned earlier down. It should just be 4 bolts and this whole metal bracket should fall out, and then it may reveal how to get the plastic intake shroud out. We'll see. Unfortunately, the carrier is a little bit too bent right here, so I can't get a socket in there. But what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take a grinder, cut it at the bottom, which should allow this side to fall off. I can then bend that pipe straight, and then I'll be able to get a socket up in there. Now that I got that radiator carrier out, I'm gonna pull out this whole shroud piece. This is one big piece, so I think it has to go, it's gotta come out from the bottom. I think it's gonna be the best way to do it. Actually, I don't know how to get it out. I gotta keep messing with it here for a bit. Here's what I'm gonna try. I'm gonna try removing the air intake off the engine, but I'm gonna try to remove that completely. That should give me another about 6 inches to pull the radiator towards the back of the car, and hopefully slide this out. The radiator shroud out, and I have the radiator now being supported with a strap. So I guess the shroud and that carrier is all that holds it. There's nothing in the back. So besides the fiberglass on the other side, I'm pretty sure all of the broken parts have been removed. I'm gonna do a once over, but we're making good progress. I forgot, I still need to take off a few suspension components such as the upper control arm and the shock at a minimum. So we're gonna do that, but for now, I'm very happy with the progress. That's gonna be it for today's video. Thank you so much for watching, and stay tuned for the next one.